Hello, and welcome to my new update video for Puzzle Blast. I've changed a lot of things since the last video. One thing you'll notice I've changed is I no longer have the how to play option in the menu because I think it's better to try and show the player how to play in the actual game instead of having them read a menu to understand. I personally just find it's a funner way to play games like that, so I thought it would be good to change that in this game. So I'm just going to start off with level 1. So this is what I mean. So one thing you'll notice immediately is I've added this sign here. It just says WASD to move. So, it tells the player how to move. Yeah. So the second thing you'll probably notice is I've changed the sprites. I didn't think, all the having red squares and that everywhere looked very interesting, and it didn't really make sense to have a fox running around there. So I wanted to change the sprites so that, it looks like he's out in the wild. So he's running around on grass, and there's some dirt underneath that you can see. I've also changed the background. You can't see much of the background here because it's just a hill in the background right now. But it'll change as I go through the level. And then another thing that you'll probably notice is this score option. Or not option, sorry. Score counter. This score goes up when you collect gems. So I've added gems as a collectible item throughout the level. And each time you collect one, your score increases by 100. You can also get gems by killing enemies, which you'll see later. So if I run up ahead a little bit, break only one box, left shift to attack. So what this is meant to tell you is there's two boxes here, and you can either get a sword or a laser gun from the box, but what you get is random. So you could get a sword, you could get a laser gun, and if you open up one box, you can't open up the other one. And I'll show you what happens if you try and open up both. So like that, I got a laser gun. But then if I try and open up the second box, this enemy called Blockman, who I've added, who's very similar to the Thwomp from Mario. He comes down and he will try and crush you every time you walk underneath him. So if I actually let him crush me, he actually flattens you, and then you're unable to move, and you get a game over. So, yeah. I'm just going to get back to the point I was at. And I think it was the first box that I opened up. So now I'll open up... Wait, which one did I open? Okay, I'll open up this one. So this time it has a sword. And then if I open up this box, still Thwomp. So the game basically detects if you've already opened up one box, then the Blockman will appear in the other one. If I jump here and I collect these gems, you'll notice my score going up. So this sign says match 3 or more quick. there could be a reward. So that's just telling the player, you know, to match 3 once they get to the grid and to do it quickly. And I've changed a few things about how the grid gives the player prizes, I guess. So I'll show you that. So if I go here, collect all these gems, and solve as many of these as I can quickly. Oh yeah, I also decided to remove the punishment for if you place a puzzle piece somewhere it's not, like if you move a puzzle piece and don't get a match 3. I removed the punishment for that because I thought that was kind of more, sort of made it more annoying, because a lot of the time I noticed when I was playtesting I would accidentally, like I would move it to the wrong spot, but it would be completely by accident and it would just feel frustrating. And I felt like the time challenge of it is enough for now. I'm gonna collect more gems and up my score. Another thing I want to show off with this laser gun, I'm glad I got it, is that if I hit left shift, it fires a laser, but you'll notice now that the laser has an actual particle effect on it. So every time it gets destroyed, it sort of pops. I just think it makes the game look a lot better. So this area is mostly the same. Gotta dodge the lasers there. So, watch out for red. Green means go. So, what that's telling you is the drone that I had before that had that spotlight, I didn't think it looked very good, so I decided to simplify it a bit and just make a laser that the player can pass through if the laser is green. But if the laser is red, it will damage the player if they try and go through it. So, just, so yeah, I went through it when it's red. One other thing you'll notice is when I was hit by that laser, I flashed transparent a couple of times, so that's just showing that my character has temporary invincibility after I'm hit by an enemy for a few seconds now, as long as I'm flashing. So I'm gonna go up here, grab these gems. I also moved to the puzzle grid a little more to the left here, so you can't actually start solving it until after you board the moving platform, which is the laser drone. Alright, so I'm gonna solve some more of these. Oh, I forgot to mention, this also drops gems now, which automatically sort of spawn like in or near the puzzle grid and then move towards the player automatically to up your score. I also changed how the invisibility potion, I've changed it so it's now an invincibility potion. So if you get it, you have 15 seconds where you can be hit by any enemies, just because I don't have any more flying drone enemies, because I didn't really like how they worked before. So I changed the potion to a temporary invincibility potion. So after you get that potion for 15 seconds, as long as your character is transparent, you will be completely invincible. I'm probably going to extend that time time later. This is also a new, well, not so much a new enemy. It's basically the same thing as the mushroom, except this one, I just sort of replaced its sprite because I thought this one looked a lot better and it was animated. It just looks way cooler. So you can shoot it, and then once you shoot it, there's another critical effect that shows sort of gems flying out of it, and then it actually drops some gems the player can pick up. Alright. So there's a, I also have this turret, which just fires directly in front of it every few seconds. And I can destroy that turret by shooting at it with my laser gun. Or I can go up here, grab my sword power up. Hold on, I messed that up a bit. And I can fight it with my sword. So if you kill it with your sword, it again has a particle effect, drops gems. Thwomps, you gotta avoid the thwomps. You want to jump over these spikes because these can also hurt you if you touch them. Alright. Uh-oh. Ouch. I got hit by one of the slimes. Warning, disappearing platforms. Oh, yes. So, I've included that warning sign because down here there are platforms, but they change and disappear every few seconds. If I jump down here, I gotta jump, go down to these ones, wait a second, jump, go to this one, and then I can cross safely. Just gonna kill this guy, grab his gems, jump over these boxes, and I've reached the end of the level. So if I go now to level 2 instructions, WSD to move your ship, left shift to fire lasers. So I've made it so that there's no laser power up now. Instead, the ship just comes automatically equipped with the lasers, because that level's just a lot more fun if the player is able to fire lasers. And then, of course, you have to keep matching tokens on the grid to keep your fuel up. Make sure you don't run out of fuel. And it's still time-based, so I didn't change too much about this level except what the ship looks like. And I've also added a particle effect at the back here. To sort of show the ship propelling itself forward. Yeah, and I also got temporary invincibility on my ship. Oh boy. Oof. I might actually die in this level. Okay, there we go. So there you have it. I've beat level 2. So yeah, I added the new enemies. I've added some particle effects, and I changed some sprites because I think a lot of the sprites that I have now look far better than the ones I had before. The level looks more lively with the animated enemy sprites instead of the mushroom sprites that I had before. So yeah, I think that's about everything. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next update video. Goodbye.